Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is CS Harshdeep Singh Narula, and today we are going to discuss about how to incorporate a private limited company in India. And we'll discuss about its overview. We'll discuss about the benefits it contains, the documents requires, the compliances it requires, the costing it requires, and post company incorporation what you require, because incorporation is a process which is completed in within 5 or 10 days, even earlier than that. However, the compliances which are to be done takes much time. So we will discuss about. I'll read from my own website so that I can give you a better understanding in this thing as well. So we are talking about the private limited company registration overview. This is the most popular and preferred form of entity, highly recommended for startups, new businesses, and closely held group. What do you mean by startups, new businesses, and closely held group? I'll tell you. Startup, in layman's language, there are two meanings of startups. The first meaning is startup which is recognized under Startup India scheme of India. We'll take this definition out. I'll consider a startup, whatever a new business is being started in this era, I'll call it a startup. A small business or a large scale business or any business. New businesses means that anything which is being started from the scratch. I'll tell you that if you do not have any knowledge about any private limited company, or if you have private limited companies already or any other businesses, partnership firms, LLPs, and if you are still starting a new business, you can also opt for a private limited company. And closely held groups, like you two friends are going to start a business, so you should opt for a private limited company. This is the best choice. Other than that, setting up a private limited company is very pocket friendly, because the costing, apart from three states like Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, and Kerala, the costing of a private limited company is very low. For example, I'll tell you why. Stamp duty in case of Delhi is rupees 360. Stamp duty in case of Haryana is rupees 131. Stamp duty in case of Himachal Pradesh is 136 rupees. In case of Uttar Pradesh, it's 1010, that is 1010 rupees. And in supposedly, if you are going to incorporate in Punjab, it's like 10,000 rupees. And if you are going to incorporate in Madhya Pradesh, it goes to the 7,500 rupees. In case of Kerala, it goes 3,000 rupees. And in other states as well, somewhere it's thousands, 3,000, 500 rupees, 400 rupees. However, apart from these three states, that is Madhya Pradesh, Punjab, and Kerala, the stamp duty is the most amount of stamp duty is being taken by the Punjab government. That is 10,000 plus. How our new business is going to survive? If you are going to incorporate in Punjab, if you are low on budget, then I will say that go for LLP and not for a private limited company. And same case for the Madhya Pradesh as well. However, if you are going to choose any other state, then go for a private limited company. I'll say that. In how many days now it gets incorporated? So the least amount of day, if the documents are correct, memorandum of association is correct, articles of association is correct, everything is correct, your private limited company will be incorporated in just 1 to 2 working days. For example, if you have a unique name, if you are not going to reserve a name, and if you are filing a fresh application right now, this is for example Sunday, then on Monday or Tuesday maximum, your private limited company will be incorporated. You will be having a COI, PAN, TAN, MOA, AOA. So features and benefits of a private limited company. Members and directors, we'll talk about the features first. So there has to be a minimum of 2 members in a private limited company. Now you must be thinking that I am only a single person, I want to start business on my own, I don't want to give my shareholding, I don't want to divide my shares, what should I do? In that case, you can opt for one person company. One person company is also a part of a private limited company. However, it is called one person company because only a single member, it's run by only a single member. It's a one person company, that is OPC, it's also called an OPC. The number of directors can be more than one. However, the member will only be one, that is subscriber. The whole shareholding, that is 100% of the shareholding, will be only will be with the one person only. Now naming. How do you name the private limited company? It's like ABC Private Limited or ABC PVT Ltd. That is short form of private limited company. Now, the next feature of a private limited company is perpetual succession. What do you mean by perpetual succession? Like in case of any change in shareholder or director, for example, unfortunately, if the shareholder dies, or if the director leaves the company, or if the new director joins it, if there is change in management of the company, irrespective of that, your company will exist even after, say, let's say 100 years. So coming and going of people would not change the identity or the succession criteria of the private limited company. The private limited company will stay. The shares will be transmitted or transferred as the case may be. However, your private limited company will stand still. Minimum capital. Earlier there was a concept of a minimum capital of rupees 1 lakh rupees. However, minimum capital means that, I'll explain it that first. Minimum capital means that the paid up capital here we are talking about. The capital you infuse in your company to start your business. You must have heard about the terms authorized share capital, paid up capital. So the paid up capital is your shareholding of the company. The shares which you hold, and when combined, it means paid up share capital of the company. Earlier it was a criteria of 1 lakh rupees. However, now the minimum capital criteria has been vanished. Now you can even start your private limited company with a share capital of rupees 1000 rupees as well, even as low as 100 rupees. However, I will still recommend to start a private limited company with 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakh rupees because of the banking structure in India. Because most of the banks prefer a minimum capital, minimum account balance of rupees 1 lakh rupees. Some banks even prefer 2 lakh rupees when we are talking about the current account. So what are the benefits I'll tell you about? There is a benefits are a very long list, like you get tax benefits, you get, if you're registered in Startup India, you get startup benefits. LLP, private limited company, is a separate legal entity. It means the identity of the private limited company is, suppose the identity is different from the company. The shareholders are a separate and private limited is separate. So the liability of the shareholder is very limited, which is not to be combined with the company. If there is a supposedly case coming on the company, then it has to be dealt in the name of company, and the liability of the directors or subscribers will be limited. So next, fundraising, like it's very attractive, I'll say that. Private limited companies are very attractive when we are talking about the fundraising. Like today is the era in 2023, the era of startups, fundings. Everyone is investing in each other, like 50,000, 1 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh. So it comes very easily in private limited company. You can buy shares, sell your shares, issue new shares very easily. In other form of businesses, it's not that easy. So now we'll move forward. What are the documents required? So the list of documents required in case of private limited company is, it's like very easy thing to do. You have it in your pocket, you have it in your phone. So I'll repeat, I'll just say what things are required to incorporate a private limited company from a scratch we are talking about it. First, it's PAN card, copy of PAN, and copy of Aadhaar of all the directors and subscribers. Photographs, passport size of all the directors. Specimen signature of the authorized signatory, like who is signing the incorporation form, that is the authorized signatory. Utility bill of registered officer address, like wherever you are starting your business, the premises, the electricity bill of that premises, along with no objection certificate from the owner. The no objection certificate is a simple format, 4-line format, which can be made, which is also available, and your consultant can also make it for you. Mostly the consultant makes it for you. You have to get it signed from the owner. If you are the owner, you will sign. If somebody is the owner, that person will sign. Then A copy of, earlier it was required. If you have a driving license or a voter card, that is also required. Earlier it used to, now it's not, so we'll take it out. If you have a passport, then that is required. A valid passport we are talking here about. In residence proof, we required either a bank statement, a latest, not older than 2 months. But it means that there should be recent transaction in your bank account, or if you have electricity bill in your name, that you can give. If you have mobile bill or telephone bill in your name, that you also can give. We prefer bank statement because bank statement is easily available with everyone. So we need bank statement of every director and subscriber. If the director subscriber is same, then we need it like that. For example, if you are starting with the 2 people, then we need separate bank statement of these 2 people, which are directors. Email and phone number of all directors and subscribers. Email and phone number of your company. We recommend to have separate email of the company so that all the bulk emails can come into that email account. Place of birth of all the directors, that is also necessary. Number of stays in your current residency. For example, tell us the number of stays, like if you are living in this residence from past 5 years, then 5 years and 10 months, then you have to tell us that you are living here from past 5 years and 10 months. Main business objects of the company, so that the proper industrial code can be find out and proper main objects of the company could be made by your consultant. Capital contribution and shareholding division. For example, there are 3 different partners, subscribers in your private limited company, and the capital contribution you are saying that keep it like 33.33, 33.33 and 33.34%. Then that's how we will divide. And next we'll say that what's the procedure we'll talk about. We'll start with a basic name reservation application, that is part A, name reservation application. The fee of name reservation application is rupees 1000. The chances here are given are 3. Like 1, 2, first you will file the name. If it gets rejected, you will file it again, or a new name. If it gets rejected, then you will get a last chance. If it still get rejected, then you will file a fresh application with 1000 rupees. If it gets accepted, then you will move to the part B, that is company incorporation application. In that part B, you have to file Spice Plus form. Then you have to file Agile form if you want to opt for GST or professional tax code or whatever. Third is you have to you have to file MOA, memorandum of articles, that is business objects of the company. Then the fourth is articles of association, that is bylaws of the company. These all of these, and the fifth one is INC 9, that is subscribers declaration. All of these documents are to be made by your consultant only, so you don't have to worry about these things. So this was all the process, and let me discuss about few frequently asked questions. What do you mean by a private limited company? This will sound very stupid to you. However, this is the real actual definition. A private limited company is a company which is privately held by a group of persons for their business. I'll read it again. A private limited company is a company which is privately held by a group of persons for their business. What do you mean by private limited company registration? A private limited company registration means an incorporated entity with 2 or more persons. It is the most preferred form of entity by startups and businesses to start a new business or to convert their existing business into a private limited company. What is the cost of registration? We have explained that it's very minimum. Apart from professional cost, if you are talking about government and digital signature cost, it will take you around I think 3500 rupees, the government fee. Let's say a cost of per digital signature is 1000 rupees, for example. If you are getting 2 subscribers, that's 2000 here. Name reservation is 1000 again, that is 3000 rupees, and PAN 10 fees is 143 rupees, and stamp duty is 360 rupees. So that is around 3500 rupees only. That's, we are talking about the Delhi. If we are talking about any other state, then the stamp duty will only change and rest of the things will remain same. How do I set up a private limited company? You have to approach your chartered accountant or your company secretary or your cost accountant or your advocate to incorporate a private limited company. We prefer like go to the consultant who has much knowledge about the secretarial laws. in today's era, a CS has more knowledge about the incorporation setup than any other professional. If you have if you have any CS nearby, choose that CS. What are the registration documents? We have discussed about the documents. What is the process? We have totally discussed part A, part B, incorporation done. Then the bank will call you, the choice of your bank. You will tell us you want to start your bank account with ICICI, HDFC, SBI. We'll put that account and that they will call you and open your bank account. Is public company different from private limited company? For sure, it's totally different from a private limited company. A public limited company we'll discuss about in other videos. This video is particularly for private limited company only. So what do you mean by DSC? What do you mean by DIN? DSC is the digital signatures. That is a token, a key. I'll show you how does the DSC looks as well. So these are my digital signatures, digital signatures of a professional. So a DSC token looks like this. It has encrypted password in it, encrypted code in it. It's your signature, like you have a physical signature. These are digital signatures. A DIN means director's identification numbers, which you get when you incorporate a company. That is a unique number given to the director. A SIN is corporate identification number given to the company when the company is being incorporated. How many DIN can you apply in a single private limited company? That is, in a single application form, you have to apply 3 digital signatures. So this was all about the private limited company, the private limited company registration. Now we'll talk about the compliances to be done in a private limited company post incorporation. What happens when you incorporate a private limited company? The first thing, when you get the approval of a private limited company, you get a certificate of incorporation, that is COI. Along with that, you get a separate mail from the department, NSDL, PAN and TAN. Apart from that, you have to ask your consultant to send you the copy of MOA and AOA to open a bank account and do all necessary stuff in the near future. Then you get a call from the bank of your choice, which we did put in the form Agile. Or if you have connections with any bank manager or any bank personnel, then you have to contact them and open a bank account. Within a week, within 5 to 10 days, let's say, your bank account will open. This was all about a bank account opening and your approval process. Now we will talk about the compulsory things which are to be done. Within 30 days of incorporation of a private limited company, you have to appoint an auditor. The auditor is a chartered accountant only. So you have to appoint a CA within 30 days of incorporation of your private limited company. You have to conduct a board meeting. In that board meeting, you have to choose a chartered accountant. Within 180 days of the company incorporation, you have to file form INC 20A, that is commencement of business form. So what is commencement of business form? This is a very, very important thing. People do not realize, directors do not realize the importance of this. If you will not file it, your company will get strike off. It will get automatically removed by the registrar of companies. So INC 20A is commencement of business form, that is to be filed within 180 days of company incorporation. And in that, we have to file majorly 2 things. The first thing is that you have to, which you promised at the time of incorporation of your private limited company, that is the capital. For example, you chose that you are incorporating a private limited company with 1 lakh capital, that is, let's say Ram and Shyam, and Ram and Shyam has agreed that Ram will put 50,000 rupees and Shyam will also put 50,000 rupees. Combining it's 1 lakh rupees. Then you have to first incorporate a company, then open a bank account. In that bank account, you cannot start a business unless you put that 1 lakh rupees, 50,000 from the Ram and 50,000 from the Shyam. Then only you should start your business. Even like the smallest entry, that is a 1 rupee, you cannot do until you put the promised share capital in your company account. After that, it's your choice, it's your money, it's yours, company's money. Do anything with that money. So second thing is, you require 2 photographs of directors for that form. One from the inside of office, like I am sitting here in inside office, you click a photo, and one from outside of the office. the outer wall, the outer from the outer gate of the office. In that photograph, you need a flex board. Along with a flex board, on that flex board, the name of company should be written, address of the company, SIN of the company, corporate identification number, email and phone number of the company should be written in a clear and big font. And beside that, you have to get your photograph clicked. Now we are talking about that. This was second thing. Okay, first thing was appointment of auditor. Second thing was filing of form INC 28. Third very most important thing. There are two more things. Third and fourth. Third very most important things. Never take out that flex board which we were discussing about just 10 seconds ago. That flex board should always be outside your company's office. This is the law. The fourth thing is, now you must have heard about the companies, shell companies. What are shell companies? For example, you opened a company and the address of the company is your house, and that in that house there is no office setup. That is a shell. Means you are not doing any business, you just for the namesake have started a company. This is how shell companies are made. So for that, you should keep a proper setup in your office. Like, this is an office, this is a chair, this is a table, that's a system, computer system, there are the files, there are the books. If you are not maintaining a proper office as per the law, if there are no statutory registers in your office, financial accounts in your office as per the law, then you are going to face heavy penalties. So always follow these few things. Like, first one is conduct a board after your company incorporation, conduct a board meeting, appoint a CA, then after that file form INC 20A, then there should be flex board outside your company door. And the fourth most important thing, the office should look like an office. Your company registered office should look like this office or better than this office, a proper office with statutory documents of the company. So that was all. And if you have any other questions regarding company registration, a private limited registration or OPC registration, that is a one-person company, or a limited liability partnership firm registration, or for a public company registration, NBFC, society, trust, Section 8 company, Startup India, then please feel free to comment. Thank you very much.